Nintendo just had a direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I have to say, Nintendo, why wasn't this your launch title? Seriously, this game looks amazing. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome. My name is Wolfy the Witch, and you are watching Lesser Than Cake. And today we're talking about Donkey Kong. Now, the Donkey Kong series is one that is near and dear to my heart. I played all of the Donkey Kong Country games. I have played the Nintendo 64 one, just not on the Nintendo 64. And let's just say I have always enjoyed the series. I've just never had it as like one of my favorites. And that's because it's always just, it's a nice challenge. It's a bit more difficult than the Mario platformers. And in many ways, I consider it Mario, but challenge mode. But Donkey Kong Bonanza, holy cow. First off, one of the worst kept secrets of all time, Pauline is actually Oddrock. The reason it's the worst kept secret is because the Korean Nintendo account accidentally posted the real box art because there was fake box art. That's right. Nintendo made fake box art for this game just so that they could hide the fact that a 13-year-old version of Pauline is going to be accompanying Donkey Kong throughout his adventure. And the way that we know that she's 13 is because Nintendo of Japan actually put her age in the website. So we're playing as a pretty young Pauline with Donkey Kong going through a unique world that is entirely subterranean. That's right, everywhere you've seen in this game is underground. And that makes a lot of sense because Mario and Donkey Kong share the same universe, and what is beneath the ground in the Mario universe, but rather the Mushroom Kingdom. It works. It's so weird, but the idea that the Mario universe world is just a hollow thing filled with different planes of existence, lore-wise, this actually makes a lot of sense. But you go down further and further because the goal is to get to the center, which allegedly will allow you to get one wish. And Donkey Kong is helping Pauline get there so that she can get home and make her wish. Gameplay-wise, this game looks like it has a lot of destructible environments. You could pick up rocks and throw rocks, destroy entire mountains, dig straight into the ground, all to collect the golden bananas, which are called Bananite? I think they're called Bananite. There are so many banana puns, but you collect Bananite, which allows you to upgrade Donkey Kong, which gives him more abilities to get more Bananite, and also fossils, which will allow you to get outfits. That's right, in this game you can dress up both Donkey Kong and Pauline, and I love that. The outfits themselves even have stats that will help you throughout the world. We've seen only a couple levels in detail. There's a water level that we've seen where you can swim around. You don't have to worry about drowning as Donkey Kong, which is great. There seems to be the default kind of jungle-ish level that we've seen before. And then there's like the weird mining level that I think is pretty early on. So the point is, we've seen a little bit of this game. I still think that there's a lot more. I'm going to guess probably 8 or 9 worlds, maybe even 12 worlds. 12 being a pretty rounded number would make some sense that we're going to be able to go down into the earth to get to the center. Actually, looking at the map, there might be more than 12. But this game is interesting because it looks to be a collectathon like DK64 and also a destructive environment game like we've never seen. And I did see a pretty funny comment where they're like, hey, this is just Wreck-It Ralph. And you know what? This wouldn't be a perfect Wreck-It Ralph game if, Disney was making games anymore. RIP Disney Interactive. But it does seem to be a wholly unique experience with good platforming, good puzzle solving, and destructible environments. Additionally, it looks like this game is going to have full voice acting with Pauline, including multiple musical numbers, because she was singing from the first part of the trailer and she was singing throughout the trailer. There is a new feature called Bananza mode, where DK can go super DK. Yeah, he literally gets a banana Super Saiyan haircut, and he can punch through stuff more impressively. Additionally, DK also has the ability to turn into an ostrich mode and a zebra mode. The zebra mode allowing him to run on water, the ostrich mode allowing him to temporarily fly. And what's really cool is we saw in the trailer, he can do these instantly. There are no special conditions other than having enough banana energy, which he can obtain by obtaining gold and, of course, destroying things in the environment. So there is a gauge that can be charged up and even charged up while in that other mode that will allow DK to change. And you can go from one to the other. You can go from Super DK to Ostrich DK to Zebra DK, depending on the situation, which means that the platforming is going to be pretty solid in this game. And then there's a plethora of other modes, including the rock carving mode, which I'm sorry, Nintendo, you put a mode that means that there are going to be so many rocks for sure. And bananas, lots of bananas. They did this on purpose. I know they did. There's a co-op mode where one person plays Pauline and the other person plays Donkey Kong. Pauline is still attached to Donkey Kong's back, but like an auto turret, they can use the mouse mode to fire sound. The sounds actually do destroy parts of the environment and also some enemies. So it's not useless and is actually a pretty fun little thing. There's an assist mode for younger players who are going to find this game to be difficult, which is very nice because DK tends to be on the tougher side. There are mini games and special challenges to take on for those extra veteran players. And overall, this is looking to be a very fascinating, open world, fully destructible, mini game filled DK game that we've never seen the likes of before. And it even has story and voice acting. Wow, that's a lot. And I went from, I'll pick it up because I have a Switch 2, to I'm buying it day one because I want to play it. And that is what a Nintendo Direct is for. Not what happened with Mario Kart World. Whatever happened with Mario Kart World, Nintendo, just don't let that happen again. Either way, this honestly shows off so much of the Switch's potential. It shows off so much of the features, and it really is the game that they should have used to really show off the system. And luckily, we are getting it within 4 weeks. Actually, by the time this video comes out, I think it's 3 weeks. But the point is, we're getting it soon. Now, that is enough of the Nintendo Direct. I want to talk to you about Donkey Kong lore. That's right. We're talking lore now. Okay, there is actually a bit of contention when it comes to the DK lore. The pre-established DK lore is that Cranky Kong is actually Donkey Kong and that Donkey Kong might be Donkey Kong Jr., might be the son of Donkey Kong Jr. Now, the reason that they might be the son of Donkey Kong Jr. is because Donkey Kong Jr. has disappeared for a very long time, and DK and Cranky Kong is notoriously the actual original Donkey Kong. Cranky Kong looks old AF, and Donkey Kong Jr., being Donkey Kong, would make him, like, middle-aged, which is why some people theorized that there was another Kong. Thanks to the Mario movie, we do know that that is not the case. In fact, DK is DK Jr. as established in the current canon, which I know is weird to say because Mario and canon is a weird sentence. Now, here's the thing, right? The original Donkey Kong arcade cabinet had Lady and Jumpman, which were retroactively changed to Pauline and Mario. But here's the thing, right? This makes sense if we just retcon the retcon. So Lady could be Pauline's mother, and Mario, being changed back to Jumpman, could make it so that Jumpman is his father. And the funny thing is, it doesn't change anything because Mario's real name is Mario, Jumpman, Mario. Jumpman is his middle name. Now, the thing about Italians and middle names is middle names actually have some significance, especially with the eldest child, specifically eldest daughters and eldest sons. So Mario having his father's first name as his middle name would make sense from an Italian point of view. And I can vouch for this because in my family, we have something similar, but for the firstborn daughters. And that person doesn't have to be dead, by the way. In my family, the person whose the name was passed down was alive up until more recently. So they don't have to be dead. So Mario's dad could have saved the city from Cranky Kong, who is Donkey Kong, right? And that is why his name was honored and he had Mario. So Mario's name would be Mario, Jumpman, Mario. And yes, Mario's last name is actually Mario. And we know this because the games are the Mario Brothers games, which means that Luigi's name is Luigi Mario. Tracking here? So Jumpman Mario could still be Jumpman Mario and Mario, Jumpman Mario, is his son. And we don't know anything about Lady other than her name was Lady. Her name may be, could be Pauline, but I do think that her name being Lady and just staying Lady would mean that Pauline can be the child of Lady, and then essentially the current Mario timeline where DK, Mario, and Pauline are sometimes friends and sometimes enemies make perfect sense because they technically have traditional and generational baggage that they got to get past. And Mario has been a lot better to DK than his dad ever was to DK Sr. And so that is how we fix all of the continuity issues. And the sad part is, none of that actually seems wrong. All those retcons to retcon the retcon actually are feasible. And look, I understand. I'm probably putting more thought into this than Nintendo put into it, but hey, that's kind of the fun in some of these things. The fact that you can just make it work is the cool part. But with that, I've already said my piece about the Donkey Kong lore. I've said my piece about the game. I want it, I will be playing it, and you will be able to see it on Virtual Wolfy Gaming when it comes out. But that is where I am ending this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching, consider giving a like, maybe comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Wolfy, out.